Welcome back to ICRS 2014 in Atlanta. This is David Yanis here with Mrs. Chris Breno. How are you doing, sir?
Good to be here.
We're excited to have you. Now, you've been working in the faith-based industry for quite some time now.
Yes,
Tell them what you're...
Yeah, so right now it's 23 Blasts. It's a football movie based on a true story of a kid who loses his eyesight. This happened in the 1990s. It was featured on Dateline, a lot of these other shows.
Okay, so true story.
So it's based on a true story, and so we saw the movie, and they finally did a movie about this true story, and it was so well done that both my wife and I, who own a company, we thought, now this is the movie that we feel we want to take out theatrically. So we had been previously, we'd been involved with Facing the Giants, Fireproof, some of those movies.
Yes.
And, we just felt like, this is a very authentic story,
Yeah.
that really tells a story. And what's incredible is that the Travis Freeman, who the movie's about, is a Baptist minister now.
Oh, really?
In real life.
And he's still blind?
He's totally blind.
Wow. And how did he get blind in the first place?
Well, he had...
Without having to go see the movie.
Yeah,
Just
well,
a quick question.
we don't really go in depth on it, but he had an infection that was so severe that he almost died.
Okay.
And he just completely lost his sight based on that infection.
Wow.
And at the time, he was like the school leader in football.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so he thought his life was devastated, but God just really worked with him, and that's what the whole movie's about, is that he ends up playing football blind in his high school.
I just seen the trailer. You're going to see the trailer in just a few minutes, and you're going to enjoy it as well. But tell us about this. You've been in the industry for how long?
Since 1977.
Yeah, I was like 6 years old. Not to make you feel older.
Yeah, so I cut my teeth with the Jim Baker show.
Cameraman.
Camera guy. Yeah,
wow.
I was just a cameraman.
See, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. That encourages me. Because I'm cutting my teeth in these videos and interviews and doing shows and stuff, and I want to make movies or get in the movie industry a little bit further than I am today. And that encourages me.
Well, hey, I never thought that just working in Christian TV like I did for so many years would eventually end up, working with the major studios on some of these movies. But part of it is they didn't understand the faith audience.
Okay.
So it's like if you're a studio, at the time you didn't really know that there was much of a market until, of course, Facing the Giants, Fireproof.
Yeah.
Passion of the Christ.
And then there's not much of a. I know there is some now because PureFlex and a few other distributors. There's not as many distributors for Christian films than there is for mainstream films at all.
Right. No.
And it's before Facing Giants, it was almost very hard to get a deal, and you got that deal with Sony.
Yeah. At the time, there was really nothing in the pipeline.
Okay.
There was really nothing. In fact, that's why it took so long between Facing the Giants and Fireproof, because there really wasn't much in between. Because at that point, nobody really knew. Now, if you look after Fireproof, you see there's a lot more movies now, right?
Yeah.
And of course, this last few months, it's just
like
every other month there's another faith-based movie.
Yes. I think Echo Lights is releasing one faith film a month.
Yeah.
Echo Lights, and they're trying to release it in theater, then the DVD, or DVD, I think is what there is, but they're trying to go theater. So that's just starting to flood the market.
Oh, it's amazing.
So you're gonna, like we're talking earlier, you have to step back and see, is this a true faith-based film, or is this just a Christian film? Because I tell you what, Hollywood's going to start imitating. They are.
Right.
But people are going to see the heart. People are going to see the stories, because there's only a Christian can tell a Christian story.
That's true.
Only a Christian can be able to tell you and get that across the audience. And I'm glad that there's a lot of guerrilla filmmakers like me and a lot of Christian film artists out there that have acted in all different roles they could, just to keep their careers going for this time and this season.
That's right.
And as the pioneers like you, the 70s, and pushing out the films and stuff, pushing out what you could do, those things help a lot of people now.
Well, I mean, when movies are so successful like they've been in the last few months, God's Not Dead, Heaven is for Real, those movies open the door for a lot more for other, but it does raise the bar.
It does.
So now, it used to be, I would say 10 years ago, you might have been able to get away with a movie that was very low production, maybe the quality wasn't quite as good. It's going to be more difficult now.
Yeah, because
find your audience.
I have to be honest, when I see the faith-based films, a lot of them, there's something missing. I mean, they have good actors, they have good color, they have good sound, and those are the first things you always think of as an artist and as someone shooting. But there's just something missing. There's a flow that's not there that you can get on a low budget film that's released in the mainstream. You get that flow. There's something that I think we still got to learn, or we still got to get out there. And I haven't put a finger on it, and I don't think many has. But there's been a few faith-based films that have just been strong, and they have that flow.
That's true.
So there's different things. So tell us about this film. When's it coming out?
October 3rd. We're coming out, and it'll be theatrically. So we're going to probably focus more on the South, where faith and football is pretty strong.
You'll be in Texas. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. We'll definitely be there. And then as as if we continue to get good word of mouth, then we'll just continue to open up wider and wider.
So you're mainly the distributor for the film, correct?
That's right.
So you didn't shoot it. You weren't
We
there.
didn't. We were involved in some enhancements to the movie where I felt like it could really be helped by having some good Christian music in it. So we added Toby Mac, David Crowder.
Oh, those are good ones, yeah.
Sean McDonald. So there's some really cool songs.
Yeah.
That they're not like overtly faith-based songs. They're just very inspiring music.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
So it really adds to the film.
Now, how many of the faith-based movies that you've run into and the producers and stuff, how many of them lack the understanding about getting the movie out? I mean, they could probably make a good product.
I think there is a certain, you could say there's a certain science to it.
Okay.
I think part of it is finding the right marketing team that would work on it, that understands the market. I mean, I think that's a lot of it has to do with who's that person that really is going to resonate with your film, and what's the best way to reach them so they can find out about your movie.
Yeah, that's very true.
So like for Facing the Giants way back when, we found out that reaching out to the pastor, that was the way to go.
Okay.
40% of the people that came to the movie came because their pastor recommended it. Now, the problem is that the studios all found out that that's the way you market it. So now pastors get inundated with movie after movie after movie. So now there are too many movies. So
no, you're right.
So now you have to develop other ways that you can kind of find that same person without going through the pastor, because he's just overloaded.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, my church, that there was a individual that came and started really promoting a movie and saying, this is the best Christian film ever made and stuff. Can you come and sell out the theater so we can have more time on there? And I'm thinking, that I couldn't do that if I made a movie. I mean, there's a different way to market for me personally, and that's good. But I mean, you can do that. But tell us some of the ideas that you do for the distribution that's working for you.
Well, I think that for this particular movie, we decided that because it deals with football, we went and we are sponsors now at youth leagues.
That's smart. All
over the country. So there are these football youth leagues that are all over the country. They're not Christian, but they're kids that are coming to learn football.
Yeah.
And in fact, last weekend, we had a youth league that we just became a sponsor of for pro camps. And I'm a 49er fan. So Colin Kaepernick happened to be the guest coach for all these little kids.
Yeah.
So my 3-year-old and I had a chance to meet Colin Kaepernick.
That's
and
nice.
Get our photo and.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
we're doing that type of thing.
That's smart. That's smart. You should get little footballs with 23 blasts on it.
I need to.
Yes, that'll be one thing you can just throw it to someone.
Exactly.
Giving you some ideas. Remember me and see my name when I have a film. Okay. No, that's nice. So where are you going from here? I mean, what's the next project?
Right now we're just focusing on this, and if God opens up the door and we do really well, then there are a few other films that we would probably release theatrically too.
Now, how long does it take to take on something like this?
To do it right, it takes about 6 months.
Yeah,
to do the marketing and to reach the people.
Yeah, and to shoot the movies 3 months to 6
months.
Well,
to shoot, that doesn't include the movie.
Yeah.
So the movie's a whole other thing.
That could be a year thing if you're doing the whole thing yourself.
Oh yeah.
But that's what we have to partner. I know David A. White. I have him on the show frequently, and he has PureFlex, and he has a good way of outreaching and putting the shows out there too as well. And I just think God's going to keep raising Christian distributors like yourself.
Yeah.
Because we need it. We need to have that.
We do. We
need to have that. Let everybody know how they can see the trailer and see the film.
Well, go to 23blast.com, and that's our website. You can also go to Facebook, the same thing, 23blast.com, Twitter, the same. And right there you'll see our trailer, you'll see the movie itself, or at least a lot of parts of the movie and some of the endorsements we have. And eventually you'll see all the markets we're going to open on.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for coming by.
All right,
we
great to be
appreciate
here.
you. All right, God bless.
Thanks.
We'll be back with another great guest.